Coming up on Bear News.
And so we did all kinds of things. We had a drive-through. We had people who had to order through their phones.
We look back on the 2-year anniversary of the shutdown due to COVID through local businesses.
I like Buc-ee's for all their variety of different things they have.
Get a preview of a very large gas station coming to northern Colorado. The change in seasons bring a change in sports. We'll have highlights of UNC baseball. And a look back on St. Paddy's Day activities. Bear News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Bear News. I'm
Josephine Walter, Bear News reporter here. And as most of you know, about 2 years ago,
on March 17th, Governor Jared Polis signed Senate Bill 56, which allows the university to
Josephine Walter, Bear News reporter here.
Medicine. The bill was passed unanimously through the House and the Senate before being signed by Polis. So what's the next
with
step
major
for UNC?
increases to
Four
our
finalists
forces
have been picked from the
in
national
the eastern
search
part
for
of
a
the
founding
alliance.
team. UNC will be hosting open forums for the candidates that have been chosen in the upcoming weeks. These forums will be open to students, faculty, staff, and the community. Funding is still an issue after all of this. Through state support, partnerships, philanthropy, and other sources, UNC needs to raise approximately $150 million to open the college. Once the college is fully operational, it does plan to be self-sustaining. To read more of the news updates to the osteopathic school, visit the link on the screen. Stay tuned with Bear News as we keep you up to date with the osteopathic school. In case you didn't realize, over spring break was the anniversary of the shutdown due to COVID-19. What does that mean? Well, it means almost every single business shut down 2 years ago today. So I went ahead and looked at the local Greeley businesses and what they did during the struggle-filled time and how they recovered.
There, Josephine Walter, Bear News reporter here. And as most of you know, about 2 years ago, mid-March, was when everything shut down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I wanted to go ahead and take a peek at some of how the local Greeley businesses are doing after the pandemic and what they did during the pandemic to kind of keep them afloat. So let's go take a peek at what they're doing 2 years down the road.
I'm Tony. I'm the bar manager at Chiba on 8th Avenue. The whole thing, COVID wasn't too bad for us, which is kind of really nice. We moved everything to just curbside ordering. So thankfully, we didn't have to lose very many people. That was a kind of a big part of it. And our sales actually went up during COVID, which is kind of wacky. But yeah, just slowly recovered, got back to where we're at, started to thrive all over again.
The Mad Cow in downtown Greeley was also one of the businesses affected by COVID. Danielle Pope, the GM, said they just kind of dug their boots in and they followed the rules and they just happened to stay afloat, which she's really, really happy about and all their guests are happy about.
Okay, so my name is Cammie. I'm the manager here at the East Greeley store, and when everything shut down, we waited till the very last moment when we had to, when we were forced to. So we were only closed for the time that they said we had to be. And once we had the option to set up at the door and have walk-up people, we did that. We offered masks, we had gloves. So it was a little hectic. We were able to get our mural done because of it, the economic impact, so that was a benefit from all of it, I'd say. Mm-hmm. For the most part, I'd say it's pretty much gone back to normal.
Cool. Well, I'm Clark. I started as a taproom ambassador 4 years ago, and then also I was taproom manager for about a year. And when COVID hit, we really didn't know what was going to happen, and so we did all kinds of things. We had a drive-through. We had people who had to order through their phones. Like, we didn't let anyone in the building for a while. No, we were just super lucky. And actually, I remember our owner saying a year before COVID that he just had a feeling something was going to happen, like catastrophically. And I don't know, maybe he's just a nut job for thinking that, but he was right. And so we were, in a way, ready for something.
Yeah, well, when we first shut down, it basically just became a complete curbside. So we had all the tables, chairs were gone. It was just a empty foyer. Yeah, I believe we got the permit to do to-go margaritas, but I don't believe they were that big of a. We didn't sell them as much as we did dine-in for sure. We did start doing quarts of margaritas. slowly but surely starting to pick up. Friday Fest is definitely where we see like a huge population coming in. Yeah, so during the pandemic, it basically cut all of our employees down to like 2 people that could, prep the food and take calls and stuff, and then the kitchen. But all the servers were gone, all the food runners were gone, all the bartenders were gone. And so basically, when we get to reopen, we invite those servers and food runners and bartenders back.
All right, guys. So honestly, it looks like a lot of the businesses stay afloat by doing curbside orders, to-go orders, anything online, and that's thanks to all of you for keeping all of our local businesses afloat and wanting them to thrive. So if you have any chance, go ahead and stop by any of those businesses and still give them your support. Thank you. This is Josephine Walter with Bear News.
While some businesses did have to unfortunately close, it is nice to see that the community could continue to support our local businesses during the shutdown. Today, March 24th, marks 1 month since Russia invaded Ukraine. According to WhiteHouse.gov, on March 16th, U.S. President Joe Biden announced $800 million in security assistance would be sent to Ukraine. This assistance comes from the form of direct transfers for military equipment such as Stinger, anti-aircraft systems, guns, ammunition, and more. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, over 900 Ukrainian civilians have died in the war, but warned that the death count may be higher. Russian forces bombed an art school that was sheltering 400 people in Mariupol. Russian forces also hit a theater that was sheltering more than 1,000 people. Russia denies attacking civilians. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg announced yesterday that the NATO will be doubling its forces to ally countries surrounding Ukraine.
With major increases to our forces in the eastern part of the alliance, on land, in the air, and at sea. The first step is the deployment of 4 new NATO battle groups in Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia.
Biden is expected to announce new sanctions against Russian lawmakers and have a meeting with NATO. Bear News will keep you updated as the situations continue. With the recent opening of Whataburger in Colorado Springs, it seems as though a little bit of Texas is making its way into Colorado. One new Texas business that's coming soon to Colorado is the gas station chain, Buc-ee's. Bear News reporter Matilda Preisendorf visited Texas to get an inside look at the convenience store.
If you've ever been to Texas, most likely you've driven past or visited a Buc-ee's.
The Southern convenience store is famous for its massive food selection, from everything to candy, beef jerky, and of course, Texas pecans.
I like Buc-ee's for all their variety of different things they have, whether it's food or their clothing, and how often they switch it up.
Though Buc-ee, the lovable beaver, is what makes the gas station into an experience. Even if you don't need to refuel, make sure to stop and shop. The Texas-sized stores carry everything Buc-ee themed and offer limited edition holiday merchandise.
The original Buc-ee's is located in Texas, but expanded to over 40 different locations in Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and coming to Colorado.
This chain is planting its Colorado roots in Johnstown, so keep an eye out for its grand opening. Have you heard of the new Marvel series coming to Disney Plus? Find out more after this. Of Women's History Month here, we are looking at female authors. Canadian writer Emily Austin released her morbidly titled book, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. The book follows an atheist lesbian who gets a job as a church's receptionist. Even though this was her first book, it was a huge success, and her fans are waiting for other releases. The New York Times bestseller, The Daughters of Kobani, a story of rebellion, courage, and justice, is a story of women in Kurdish militia fighting against ISIS in Syria. Author Gazelle Zimak Lemon dives into the theme of what women can accomplish when they have the opportunity to lead. If you're looking for a book about the struggles of living in a pandemic and navigating relationships, Phoebe Robinson's Please Don't Sit on My Bed in Your Outside Clothes shows the uncomfortable reality of living with a partner during quarantine. The comedian and actor takes a humorous approach to discuss difficult topics such as being a Black woman in America and finding her role in the Black Lives Matter community. If any of these books strike your interest, they can be found on Amazon or at bookstores in your area. Next week, Bear News will wrap up Women's History Month with female-led TED Talks. Disney Plus has so much Marvel content, and we just keep getting more. Bear News reporter Andrea Grajeda has more information about the upcoming series Moon Knight starring Oscar Isaac.
Disney Plus has been producing many Marvel shows for characters that did not get a lot of screen time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and to further extend their storyline. Next week, Marvel fans will be introduced to a character they haven't quite seen in the MCU yet, Moon Knight. But who exactly is Moon Knight? Mark Spector is a former CIA operative turned mercenary with dissociative identity disorder who moonlights for Moon Knight. After being left for dead in Egypt, he died in front of a statue depicting Egyptian moon god Khonshu, who brings Spector back to life. But he becomes a vessel for Khonshu's powers. In the comic book Moon Knight Phases by Max Bemis, the origin of Spector's DID is discovered. When Spector was a child, he looked up to and admired Yitz, the rabbi who was teaching his dad how to be one too. Spector said that Yitz was like an uncle to him. So when Spector learned that his uncle Yitz was actually a Nazi serial killer who threatened to kill Spector himself, his mind fractured at the realization. Spector got treated for his DID, but when he was resurrected by Khonshu, the voices of his past personalities, Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley, returned. Though Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige says that the show will remain true to the character's violent nature, we've already seen some differences. For example, it seems that audiences will first be introduced to the character of Stephen Grant before we meet Mark Spector. Mark Spector is the mercenary. However, Stephen Grant is the brains. The first episode of Moon Knight will premiere on Disney Plus on Wednesday, March 30th. I've done my research and I'm really excited. Will you be watching along?
I'm so excited to start watching the show next week. Plus, I hear Dracula owes Moon Knight some money. As the temperatures have increased, so has the wind. Find out more about the weather when we come back.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We've been having some nice weather recently, but we've been teased in the past with warm weeks followed by a wintry day. So, Angel, is this warmer weather something we can look forward to?
Well, with our break now in the rearview mirror and our sights set on the end of the semester, students around campus can give a warm welcome to spring. That's right, as of Sunday, March 20th, we are officially in the spring season. We're just a 1 week off from the Groundhog's prediction back in February, and warmer days should be on the way. But this is Colorado, and the weather here is about as reliable as a screen door on a submarine. While there could be more snowy days on the way, there will be plenty of sunshine this weekend in the Greeley area. After starting this week off with cooler temperatures and lots of wind, the sun returned on Thursday along with partly cloudy skies, with the temperatures settling in the upper 60s. While the wind itself can be annoying, it is pushing all that cold air out of the way and will allow us to cool down a bit this evening as the temperature dips into the mid-30s. Our weekend gets started on Friday with some sunshine and the high around 66 degrees. There will be some clouds in the afternoon with a small chance of rain that will decrease as the sun goes down. We should be in for a very comfortable weekend, as Saturday will see a high of 77 degrees with partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, followed by Sunday with a high up around the high 70s again with a light breeze blowing from the west. We will see temperatures and conditions going into this next week look the same, with the average temp sitting anywhere from 60 to 70 degrees. There may be a small chance of winter weather next weekend, but I'll give you more information on that next week. Until then, get out and enjoy this spring weather while it's here, Bears.
I, for one, will certainly be enjoying this warmer weather while we have it. Still to come, find out all about the UNC baseball team and how they're doing.
Before I started at Seattle, it was disorganized.
My lessons were the same all the time.
I think I've become much more strategic about drawing on students' prior experience in order to enhance their learning.
Making sure that my standards as a professor were very high, but also enabling students to be successful in my class with a variety of strategies.
Quite frankly, one of the most important to me has been my addressing the diversity, equity, inclusion issues.
I think definitely keeping in mind that I need to engage the students in what I'm teaching.
I feel like students feel more enthusiastic about the class, and then they come more, and when they come more, they're going to do better.
I think the most valuable thing that I've gotten out of Seattle has been kind of the community of support.
It was actually knowing that every single semester I need to engage something that makes me a better teacher.
Seattle is a great way to enhance your learning, especially if you're struggling with certain areas.
We've been all away from the studio for a week, and we haven't been able to catch up. So, Hunter, what did you do over spring break?
Josie, I spent my spring break watching March Madness, and I gotta say, my bracket did not last long. By day 3, both the teams I predicted to go to the championship lost, so I'm not a happy camper. But unlike my bracket, UNC baseball sure had some better luck. So let's take a look at some highlights from their 3-game series against Western Illinois. In the first game, Garrett Fisher gets the Bears on the board with this drive into right center field, and that ties the game at 1. Later on, Ian Torpe throws this nasty breaking ball for the strikeout. He would finish with 6 on the day with 5 innings of work. Then Shaden Kubo blasts one to left field towards the flats for the 3-run homer and gives the Bears a 5-3 lead. Then the Letternex go to the bullpen, but Josh Glenn likes new pitchers as he jumps on that for back-to-back home runs and expands the UNC lead to 6-3. In the 8th, a tough grounder to the 3rd is no problem from Chase Cromer as he throws him out on the run, and the Bears would hang on and take the first game 12-7. In the second matchup, Shaden Kubo takes center stage with this unassisted double play in the opening frame. Nice play, Shaden. But then he gets in the batter's box and does even more damage by lining this into center field. But watch this, the center fielder, whoop! An error caused for the bases to clear and Kubo to end up on third as the Bears take the lead. Later on, Kubo takes his cuts with the bat by blasting one to left field and a 3-run homer to expand the Bears' lead to 5. Oh man, he knew he got a hold of that one. Look at that smile, he's happy. In the 6th, Craig Kinney gives this ball a big old ride for a 2-run homer to expand the lead to 7. But the Bears end up tied in the 9th, and Jake King hits one to first for a force out and a fielder's choice, and allows Chase Cromer to run on home for the walk-off in a 14-13 victory for the Bears. Oh my gosh, they took the series. And now, in the series finale, Josh Glenn helps the Bears to another early lead by sending one into the gap, which ends up clearing the bases, and Glenn ends up on third for the Bears to take a 5-0 lead. And now, moving on to the 7th. This ball looks to be landing foul, but watch this. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Chase Cromer with the SportsCenter highlight to end the 7th. Now down 1, the Bears trying to get the run across, and this ground out ends up tying the game at 8. Now with a runner on second, Lincoln Turner puts one into center field, and he allows the Bears to walk it off again and get their first series sweep of the season. The Bears are happy. Look at the Gatorade splash hanging on. And here's Turner after the game on his big moment.
Yeah, man, I was walking up there. I was hoping I got a fastball first pitch. I did. Just missed it. And then he missed with 2 other fastballs down and away. And then he threw me another fastball, middle in, and, I was ready for it and hit it right back up the middle.
The Bears are back in Greeley this weekend for a 3-game series against North Dakota State, with the first matchup set for 2 p.m., while the latter 2 matchups will see first pitch at noon. Now to a different topic. NFL free agency is underway, and there have been a lot of big moves. But one notable move has caused a huge backlash. Quarterback Deshaun Watson asked to be traded the previous offseason before he was faced with 22 sexual assault cases. As a result, Watson did not play for the Texans last season. But on March 11th, Watson was cleared of criminal charges, but still faces each civil case. This decision opened the floodgates, and within the next week, Watson found himself on the Cleveland Browns with the most guaranteed money in NFL history, and the Texans receiving a slew of draft picks. Now, how does that happen? Watson still needs to go through each case. What gives the Browns the indication that this is the time to make this move? If you're a parent and your child has made a bad choice, you don't take them to the store to get candy. You have to hold them accountable. Now, not only Watson, but also the NFL looks terrible in this deal. They have allowed someone who's facing 22 cases of sexual assault to get more guaranteed money than even Patrick Mahomes. Now, just like America needs good parents, the NFL needs good leadership. I'm not saying I know the answer and how the NFL should go about this situation, but to allow a team to reward someone that has that cloud hanging over them, the NFL should be ashamed of itself. They let their reputation fall through with their inaction. And even though Watson will be suspended at some point, he should not have been allowed to receive that kind of money at this moment in time. Because remember, you cannot give a kid a candy bar after he hurts another kid.
This trade was definitely a surprising one. Thank you for sharing, Hunter. Coming up, what did you do over St. Patrick's Day? Find out all about the events that happened around Greeley.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Almost everyone always has big plans for St. Patrick's Day. My big plans involved going downtown to see what Greeley was up to for the big holiday. So here's what I experienced.
Hi! I am about to head downtown for the Blarney on the Block event for St. Patrick's Day in downtown Greeley on 9th Avenue. It's sponsored by First National Bank this year, and local businesses come together on 9th Avenue, like, The Box, the Jaeger, Bears Gaming Bar, Heart Luck Tattoo, Gentry's, Stella's, Arcade and Bar, the Moxie, Luna's Tacos and Tequila, the Hatchet House. All of those businesses come together, and they create this huge event where they do like a parade and a lot of deals and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys downtown and show you what Blarney on the Block is all about. Blarney on the Block drew a huge crowd. Following this, the parade came through with traditional Irish music. After this was some traditional Irish dancing. After the parade, everyone was enjoying some green pizza. And then at Heart Luck Tattoo, they were having a deal where it's $50 flash tattoos.
How many hours, Carol?
Just one, and I have a list of marijuana. It smells.
Actually, after this event on Thursday, the Downtown Bars hosted a Cakes and Eggs event for a real St. Patrick's Day on Thursday. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what's going on with that event. Cakes and Eggs was an all-day event at all 4 bars where you could get free green beer all day and eggs and waffles in the morning. They actually ran out of green Coors Light cakes halfway through the day, so they started to have to use green food dye to dye their beer for the holiday. And if you're one that didn't like beer, they also had mimosas and other green drinks. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my Stay in Greeley St. Patrick's Day activities. And this is Josephine Walser with Bear News.
The Greenfield Day was a great time to experience, so make sure not to miss out next year. Here at Bear News, we like to feature students weekly that go above and beyond at UNC. This week's Student of the Week is Jackson Webb. Webb is from Greeley and plans to graduate in December of 2022 with a degree in finance. After graduating, Webb wants to become a real estate agent and one day own his very own brokerage. In his free time, he loves to ski, work out, watch his favorite movies, enjoy tacos, and sing karaoke. If you know any of your peers that should be featured on Bear News, send them to the email address on the screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Josephine Walter, and we'll see you on Tuesday for Bear News Now.